Let's talk about how artificial intelligence is reshaping education, what it looks like in classrooms, who's moving fastest, and how the United States compares to China and other countries taking bold steps. I'll start with the big picture. Around the world, schools and ministries of education are testing AI to personalize learning, automate routine tasks, provide tutoring on demand, and give teachers better real-time data. But countries are not moving in lockstep. Some prioritize speed and scale. Others are cautious, putting ethics and teacher training first. That divergence is clearest when we compare the United States and China, and then look at fast movers like South Korea, Singapore, Finland, India, and Japan. First, the United States. In US K-12 classrooms, AI mostly shows up as tutoring and workflow support layered into familiar tools. Think adaptive platforms that adjust the next math problem to a student's level, writing assistants that suggest feedback, and chatbots that answer students' routine questions so teachers can focus on higher-value work. One well-documented example is Georgia State University's AI texting chatbot that reduced Summer Melt, the number of accepted students who never enroll, by over 20%, simply by answering questions and nudging students through deadlines. During and after the pandemic, districts expanded use of adaptive programs and experimented with AI supports that saved teachers time on grading and planning. And in 2023, Khan Academy piloted Khanmigo, an AI tutor and teacher assistant based on GPT-4, to provide Socratic help in math, coding, and more, while keeping the teacher in the loop. US policy, however, is fragmented. There isn't one national AI in schools mandate. Instead, federal guidance emphasizes assistive AI, tools that free teachers to do more human work, plus safeguards for privacy, fairness, and transparency. Many districts were initially wary of generative AI because of cheating concerns, then shifted toward managed piloting and teacher training as the tools matured and policy guidance improved. In short, the US is innovating through a mix of districts, nonprofits, universities, and companies, but with uneven adoption and a heavy focus on ethics, data privacy, and evidence. Now, China. China's approach has been both sweeping and systematic. The government's new generation AI strategies explicitly call out education, and the country has scaled AI-powered adaptive tutoring faster than anywhere else. Platforms like Squirrel AI break subjects into thousands of granular knowledge points, diagnose gaps in minutes, and sequence exercises accordingly, often supported by cameras and detailed engagement analytics. The design goal is precision. Find the exact misconception, deliver the exact next step, and do it at national scale. At the university level, China has rapidly expanded AI majors and AI-infused programs to grow its future talent pipeline. In primary and secondary schools, AI content and introductory curriculum are increasingly common, alongside digitized classrooms equipped with AI-enabled devices. Ethically, China emphasizes performance and scale more than privacy. Surveillance-heavy classroom analytics and high-stakes test preparation are common use cases. That has driven learning gains for students who can access these tools, but also sparked debate about equity, student autonomy, and whether the tools shape learning toward test optimization versus deeper competencies. So the contrast is stark. The US favors decentralized, ethics-forward pilots that augment teachers and protect student data. China favors centralized, data-rich systems that personalize aggressively and optimize for measurable performance at scale. Now let's widen the lens to other notable countries. South Korea is building a national model of personalized AI tutors for every student. The idea is simple but bold. Homework and assignments dynamically adapt to each learner's level and tendencies and learning behaviors, while teachers concentrate on social, emotional, and hands-on work. The endgame is to move away from one-shot end-of-course exams toward continuous, embedded assessment through everyday work. This is a whole system change, not just software, but teacher training, curriculum integration, and assessment reform. Singapore is another leader. Under its Smart Nation strategy, Singapore is rolling out AI literacy for students and teachers and funding applied research through its National Institute of Education. The vision is coherent. AI that customizes learning for every student, especially those with special needs, automates routine grading, and flags where students struggle so human teachers can intervene with precision. Singapore pairs this with robust R&D partnerships between government, universities, and industry, keeping ethics, equity, and evidence at the center. Finland takes a teacher-centric, ethics-first path. Roughly half of Finnish schools use the VIL learning analytics platform to provide immediate feedback and actionable dashboards, but the technology is intentionally invisible, in service of pedagogy, not replacing it. National efforts emphasize citizen AI literacy, open courses for the public, and research on ethical use and student well-being. Finland's North Star is equity and high-quality instruction, with AI as a supportive layer. Japan, meanwhile, is formalizing guardrails. The government issued guidelines allowing limited, supervised use of generative AI in schools and selected pilot schools to understand what works, what's safe, and what should be restricted. It's a pragmatic, pilot-first approach that acknowledges benefits while managing risks like plagiarism, data leaks, and over-reliance. India shows the power of scale plus frugal innovation. AI is used for visualization, for example, letting students scan a textbook passage to see a 3D model that makes a science concept click, and for early warning analytics that predict which students might struggle or drop out, allowing targeted interventions. The private sector is vibrant, with platforms that personalize practice across languages and devices that most students already own. Across Europe, the OECD and EU are pushing comparative guidance and regulation. Countries are aligning around trustworthy AI principles, safety, transparency, accountability, and fairness, while encouraging AI literacy and teacher training. The goal is to unlock personalization and productivity without compromising rights or widening inequities. Step back, and you can see three archetypes emerging. The first archetype is AI as teacher amplifier, common in the US, Finland, Japan, and parts of the EU. Here, AI handles rote tasks, drafts feedback, and personalizes practice, while humans do what only humans can do: motivate, mentor, orchestrate complex projects, and build community. The second is AI as personalized engine at scale, exemplified by China and South Korea's plans. Here, the system itself adapts in real time for each learner, continuously assessing and serving up the next best action, with the state building infrastructure, data standards, and teacher development to support it. The third is AI as national capability, seen in Singapore and increasingly in India. Invest in AI literacy, teacher upskilling, and applied research so schools become living labs, and the country builds both human and institutional capacity to keep improving. Which approach is best? It depends on your values and constraints. If you prize student rights, teacher judgment, and local control, you'll gravitate to the amplifier model. If you want rapid gains in foundational skills across millions of students, you may look to system-level personalization. If you want resilience and long-term capability, you build literacy and research capacity nationwide. Regardless of model, 4 design choices will decide outcomes. First, teacher enablement. AI only helps when teachers are trained, supported, and in control of the tools. Countries that fund hands-on training, with coaching and time to redesign lessons, will see far better results than those that drop software into classrooms without support. Second, assessment reform. If your assessments only reward memorization, AI will optimize for memorization. If your assessments ask students to reason, create, and collaborate, AI can be tuned to help build those competencies. South Korea's move toward embedded, ongoing assessment is a signal of where this could go. Third, governance and ethics. Clear rules for data privacy, transparency, explainability, and bias mitigation are table stakes. So is clarity about what AI must never do in schools, for example, surveil student emotions in ways that can't be verified or remedied. Countries with coherent guardrails will move faster because educators trust the direction. Fourth, equity. AI can widen gaps if only some students get high-quality tools or high-speed connectivity. It can also narrow gaps if every student gets an on-demand tutor and every teacher gets time back to focus on the hardest to help kids. The difference is policy design, device access, infrastructure, language support, and targeted funding for the schools that need it most. So where is this headed? Expect the US to continue its federated approach, with standout districts and states piloting AI tutors, classroom co-pilots, and data dashboards, and the federal government nudging with guidance and research investments. Expect China to deepen its data-rich personalization and university-level AI capacity. Expect South Korea to be the first to demonstrate a nationally coherent, every student has an AI tutor, model in public schools. Expect Singapore to keep setting the pace on teacher training and research translation. Expect Finland to remain the conscience of the field, advancing evidence, ethics, and well-being. Expect India to scale low-cost, high-impact use cases, and become a major exporter of AI in education solutions. The thread that ties the leaders together is clarity. Clarity about what AI is for in education, what it is not for, and how it aligns with national values. When countries are clear about their goals, human-centered learning, equitable opportunity, teacher professionalism, and robust privacy, AI becomes a lever that moves the system in the right direction. Without that clarity, AI becomes just another gadget. The choice is ours. Use AI to supercharge great teaching and deepen learning, or let it chase test scores and shortcuts. The nations that get this right will not just raise achievement, they'll graduate students who can think with and about AI, ethically, creatively, and powerfully, in a world where those skills are the new literacy. That's the global state of play. The US amplifying teachers with ethics-forward pilots, China scaling precision personalization, and others, from South Korea and Singapore to Finland, India, Japan, and the EU, charting paths that reflect their systems and values. The opportunity is enormous, the risks are manageable, and the next 2 to 3 years will set norms that last a generation. If we build for human flourishing first, the technology will follow. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and share.